Hello, my name is Oliver. Today I'm going to tell you about World War II, Part 3. Before Nightingale could escape, another bomb hit the ship. It just threw him overside into the water. He was about to go under when an officer swimming by grabbed his shirt and held him towards the beach. The attack was over in less than 2 hours, but 21 American ships and 188 American fighter planes had been destroyed. A high school student on the shore wrote in her diary said that when the attack ended, the barracks where the soldiers lived was burning, and the warehouse where supplies were kept was on fire. Houses all along the harbor had been blown up. The water of the harbor couldn't even be seen. A solid wall of smoke blocked it from view. Pearl Harbor thought it an end to American neutrality. Almost 3,000 American soldiers were killed. 1,300 men had died on one battleship, the Arizona, alone the ship that E.C. Nightingale had escaped. New photographs published in American newspapers showed that American ships burning and sinking and U.S. servicemen dying. December 7th, said President Roosevelt, was a date which will live in infamy. The American people were no longer ignoring this disaster sweeping over the rest of the world. Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war on Japan and all its allies, meaning Germany and Italy. While the Americans were trying to recover from the destruction of their fleet at Pearl Harbor, the Japanese swept down over Hong Kong and the islands south of Asia mainland. Japanese troops took over the Philippine Islands and Malaya too. British soldiers who occupied all three these places had to flee to Singapore. Soon they were forced out of Singapore as well. Japan was extending its empire all over Asia. Within a year, the Japanese could claim the Dutch East Indies for themselves. The Americans fought back. Recruits poured into the American Navy, eagerness to invade Pearl Harbor. Half a year after Pearl Harbor, in spring of 1942, the Americans launched and attacked the Japanese fleet near the island of Midway. In the Battle of Midway, 4 huge Japanese aircraft carriers, ships that carried fighter planes that could take off, attacked targets, and returned to the ship for refueling, so that the planes could fly much farther away from land, were destroyed by much smaller American force. The war began Japan and the Allies in the East in his own name, the War of the Pacific. When Allied soldiers went to China to help the Chinese fight back against Japanese invasion, the War of the Pacific mingled the Sino-Japanese War. And now that the Allies and the Axis powers were fighting in both Europe and in the East, the three wars had all blended together. The Sino-Japanese War, the War of the Pacific, and the World War II became one huge, world-swallowing disaster. Thank you for your attention.